Do it again, Jake. Jake, come out here and show them what you got here. Dude, exactly. Nailed it. I'm Rich.
I'm Frank.
And it's People, Pints, and Possibilities.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Jake hit the clap, and that means that we are ready to roll. Snap it out. All right. Welcome to episode 2. This is the numero dos. I'm Rich Clayton, the Vibe Titan.
Frank Panion, dabbler.
Dabble. He's dabbling. Big dog is dabbling. We are the People, Pints, Possibilities podcast from California Coast Beer Company. Frank, tell them about a little bit about today's episode.
I think today's episode we're going to focus on a little bit of the people.
Yep. Building teams.
Building teams. Kind of the history of where we got where we are. It's going to be quite a bit. So instead of doing people, pints, possibility, we're just going to focus on people today.
Right, and just a reminder, since I fucked up the agenda right there in Frank's face. Frank's face. He did. He looked at it like, God dang it, this guy missed the people. I put the 3 Ps. People, pints, possibilities I was supposed to introduce. People, we're going to talk about building teams. Pints, we're going to talk about crafting things. And the possibilities are just those people that believe that mindset about big-ass dreams, right?
Absolutely. I don't even know how to fucking sit right
It's
now.
exciting stuff. We're on episode 2, so no one knows. I don't know if I want to go the upside down mic or the right side up mic. The sticker game is real. The hand placement is important, but just like anything else, you got to get started, people. Don't be afraid. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Pull the trigger. Let's go.
Just get going. Just get started. The hardest part is getting started. After that, figure it out. So here we are. We're going to talk a little history about California Coast Beer Company here in Paso Robles, California. It is not the same place as when we started. So we're 6 years in, but we're going to go back to how the heck this place began. And that starts all the way back in a professional development in 2015 with your boy right here, my boy, Frank Panion, and me. We really didn't get introduced all that formally, but we were in education before, right, Frankie?
Yeah, absolutely. Education for a minute, man. I guess we went teachers to administration.
How'd you get to education? You were military before that, or?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Dabbled a little bit in the military, and
All
then
right.
Got out, did some engineering, and then got into education. Met my beautiful wife, and she kind of pushed me in that direction, which I thoroughly appreciated and fell in love doing education. Kind of did the little gamut and ended up over here in Paso. And I remember we were in a PD. We call that a professional development. And never met this crazy MFer next to me. And the task was we were supposed to build an arcade game.
Hold on, before you go into the game, let's educate our people. The PD. Shout out to the PD people who are still hanging in there. Yeah. A professional development day is a day where you think you get the day off, but what do you have to do?
You just hope for the free lunch.
Yeah. You pretend like you love education and that you're the most exciting
It is. It's
person.
Let's ramp you up, and it's going to be so amazing when everybody just wants to get in their classroom and prep.
And the coaches are all busy because they miraculously have like equipment to count or like something to do, right? They're not there. They find a way out. And then the admin is like on high because they've been going through the agenda. Hey, the admin's been going through the agenda for how long?
Oh, shoot, weeks.
Months. It doesn't matter.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, we're going to get them fired up for
We're
the
going
year.
to kick this year off. Yeah. So we'll come back to the shit education. Shit educators do. That's a whole nother episode. So we meet at a professional development day, which means there's no kids and you are just there to like feel the educational hype.
And it's my first day. I left from a principal. I actually took a VP job. I'm like, I'm going to sell. This is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of chilling. And then the task was build an arcade out of cardboard. And here's tape and cardboard. And all of a sudden, this fucking whirlwind of crazy fucking motherfucker comes flying in. Rich Clayton, never met him.
Yeah,
and I'm
boy.
just sitting back here going, oh my God.
Hey, the kid is on fire. Give me a direction with a little bit of material. Give me some glue and some scissors and a challenge, and you're about to see the Tasmanian.
Yeah, no,
devil.
we crushed an arcade game. I think it was like one of those little bowling ones. You throw a ball and it kind of, it was.
You know what's funny?
It was
I
too
don't
much.
even remember meeting Frank then because I was so focused on the task. Right?
He
You
was.
got to get this thing done.
Yeah, and I kind of stepped back. I'm like, God forbid I have an engineering degree, but I just kind of stepped back and let him run it, and it was probably the best cardboard arcade game you can make. So that's checked on the bucket list. Never thought I'd do that, but that's where we met each other.
All right, and fast forward, we start working together, and vice versa. I'm noticing Frank. We're talking about people, right? Building teams, and I hadn't known it, but I started to notice. This guy is really, really organized. He would come in. In fact, he still hates fucking meetings. By the way, to this day, I can barely get him to a meeting. It's like wasting meetings. So we'll have an episode on meetings later about the efficiency of meetings. Don't meet just to meet. But this guy hated meetings, so he'd come in with his notebook and he'd just rip down like 1 through 17 and be like, "Okay, I'm good, right? No one needs me."
Done. We're good.
No, Frank. We have to sit in this meeting for 3.5 more hours, right?
No. I don't.
No, I'm done. I have stuff to do. Well, what stuff? It's just stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's important stuff.
But let's talk about what we need. How about we just do it?
Oh no, we should definitely stay here in this meeting and
Yeah,
talk about
and
what
talk
we're gonna
about it.
do versus doing it.
And you're not gonna feed me. That's cool.
So I saw the skills that my guy had here, my boy, and to be honest, I had worked in education my whole career. 2003, shout out to Kingsburg High School. They hired me, Mark Jensen, Dave Wilson, all those guys over there, the Vikings, Dina, and Kingsburg hired me. And from that point on, we're going to interject some people here. I had told people about breweries. I said, let's start a brewery. Now, mind you, I didn't know how to make beer at the time, but I had a best friend, and his name is Craig Kuntz.
Kuntz?
Craig Kuntz. And
that guy.
Craig and I grew up since middle school in Redding, California, up north. And we grew up together, and Craig, he started making beer, as soon as he got out of college. And he was working at a cool spot named Four Peaks Brewing Company. A lot of cool dudes there. And I got to go visit him when we were young. And I could not believe for the life of me that making beer and selling it in a brewery was an actual job. I could not believe it. So that's the background on where the brewery came from. Now, mind you, this is where people are important. I had at this point, I have now propositioned 190 to 270 people to start a brewery. But I just hadn't met the right one, right? So we talk about that. Thomas Edison found how many ways not to make a light bulb?
A lot.
A lot. 999 ways not to make a light bulb. And then I run into Frank, and we're sitting there one day eating lunch, or I'm eating lunch because he doesn't eat in front of people. So, and Frank tells me, what'd you tell me?
I'm gonna go open a coffee shop. Actually, no. Let's back up a little bit. I said, actually, let's back up a little bit more. So I was working HR at the time, and education's a beautiful career field. I don't want to dog on that. It's about the kids. It's so much fun to be about the kids and watch them grow up. But as you kind of move up in the ranks, or I guess the ranks, and become admin, and then go to the district, now you're dealing with unions, contracts, like it's
Red tape.
Yeah, fuck.
You're
it's just,
far from kids.
It's draining, and you're like, man, I miss the kids. And
Purpose.
yeah, and just that point in life, I realized, you know what? It's time to make a change. And my dad, God bless him, he was a business owner, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of looking at a salary schedule where it's capped. I'm gonna go do something on my own where sky's the limit. And there was a little, in God bless Craigslist, a little coffee shop, drive up. It was probably 20 square feet. And I remember going to Rich, I'm like, I think I'm going to buy this. I'm going to make coffee every day. And Rich asked me, what do you know about coffee? Nothing. I know nothing.
Nothing. So I was like, well, guess what we know nothing about, or I have an in with? I said, what do you know about beer? And Frank's famous line to me was, I don't know shit about making beer, but I love it.
Yeah, no.
I really like it.
I could put some engine blocks away. I'll tell you that.
So here we go. I got a bite, right? You've been throwing this line out. So now I've been fishing since 2003 all the way to 2015, where we met at this PD, and even further because we worked a few years. So it was even beyond that. And
All good years.
Frank, he's crazy enough. Like, the guy will take a risk. That's the possibility portion. And I send Frank. I just get it. He gets a plane ticket. He got him. I didn't even get him one. I call Craig, my buddy up in Montana at this time, and we'll tell that whole story. But he became a consultant. And fast forward, he's got his own place at Sunriff Beer Company, which we love Sunriff. We love Craig. All the work he's done with us. We'll tell that story for sure. And I send, Frank, who I know informally. We met in schools, but we're not hanging out every weekend. And I send Frank up there, and Frank goes up to Montana, and actually, I don't know what happened up there.
Oh, God. Hit Montana. It was, everyone says Montana's cold. Every time I've been there, it's been nothing but gorgeous. So I don't know if that's my luck.
Well, it's called June.
Yeah. You
haven't hit
you're
in
right, you're right.
December.
We did do December. That was a little chilly. But anyways, hit it, and I walked in and saw all the stainless, sexy, beautiful equipment. And I'm like, what is this? And Craig's all, we're brewing tomorrow at 4 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Showed up, started brewing, and I'm a little bit of a geek, and I took the most stupidest notes you probably ever saw.
Absolutely. So it was a tryout, like Frank is crazy enough to go up there, and Craig's been my friend since we were in 7th grade, and Frank is up there just taking notes massively. And I'm wondering, does Frank have what it takes to make beer if we're going to do this? And Frank's wondering, well, shit, is this even something that's a possibility? And, he'll tell you. And so he's just getting after it, right? You're taking notes?
Oh, going crazy. But I did do a little research on Craig. I mean, a little bit of a legend. He's very
Dude, I
humble
got a
about
bug
it.
in my beer there.
That's all right. Get it out.
Yeah,
Protein.
fish.
Anyways, he Tempe, Arizona, has a pretty badass track record as a brewer, and so I was kind of
side note, I gotta interrupt. Side note,
he'll do this.
If you meet Frank, he will do research on everything that you've done in your life, including your Instagram, your MySpace, his face, whatever.
Yeah,
he will look you up. So you looked up Craig
and legend. I was like, shoot, I'm kind of honored to be here. I don't want to fuck this up. And probably after a couple hours, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to work just fine. Just chill, dude. I'm like, this is my vibe. And we started making beer, started explaining everything about how to mash in, what it takes to pull freaking starch and sugars. And he just went super deep. And you got to remember, I'm brand new. I'm just like, oh, my God, I got to research this. And I was there 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and walked away going, this is a thing. This is going to happen.
What time of year was that? Was it in the summer? I must have been, right?
It was in the summer because I was off.
Okay.
And it was in the summer because I remember we were watching the sunset, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. It was something weird.
Yeah. And I want to speak, dude, that's the possibilities right there. Like Frank having the just the desire, the balls to go do it, right? So you hear about something, most people would stop at, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to fly to Montana to check it out. I'm not going to sit here and take notes. I'm not going to do that. I'm comfortable in my job, and going up there and taking a chance and doing that, that's the first domino, right? There's a lot of dominoes that have to fall, and there's a ton of them that we're going to talk through, but that's the first one, is going up there and putting yourself out there on something that you have no idea about. Yet it's not blind faith. It's the possibilities piece is that big dream of okay, if I can find a great mentor, I can listen to everything they say, internalize. I can take 20 years and compress it into a short period of time, and that's why we were confident.
His quote, just to interrupt, was, "I've made 20 years of mistakes. You shouldn't have to make any of those mistakes."
Yeah. Wow. And so you can do it. There's a lot of people, they ask us like, where did you guys brew beer before this? Or where did you learn how to start breweries? Well, literally we just got our PhDs in breweries, but we also know how to treat people and we know how to manage teams. We had learned that through our educational period. So at this point, Frank goes up there, but the pints, crafting things, he's never done in his life.
Nope.
And so it's about following direction and doing some things. And when you came back, I'm guessing, obviously, you were hooked.
It's not a guessing game. That's what he told me.
That's
and it sure
not a
as hell
guessing game.
wasn't. And I would tell him, I'm like, man, I'm nervous, dude. I'm going to put all my equity in my house, have 3 girls. Like, how do I explain? Like, I brewed for a year. And
we have no money. We have no money.
And he looked at me and he goes, guess what? You could be a great brewer in 1 year, or you can be a shitty brewer for 25 years. It doesn't matter about the time. It just get that quality product out there.
Right.
And every time I talk to Craig, it's like, great ideas. How's the product going in the glass?
What does he mean by it's not a guessing game?
It's not. I mean, it's all temp controlled. It's recipes. The data is all there. It's a very data driven industry. If you can follow the formulas and stick with it and make sure how you produce beer is spot on with your cleanliness and temp control, you're going to make a quality product.
And you said something else important. You said out of everything, you could tell this long story about beer, which is cool. It's 4 ingredients, right? It stands the test of time. You said out of all the things can go really well or things can go horrible, but what did he always ask you?
How's it taste?
How's the beer taste?
How's the
right?
beer taste?
So you could tremendously fail and create in your mind and create a great product, or vice versa. You could hit all your numbers and think it's perfect and go to that glass, pour that beer in there, and something went wrong somewhere.
And can you make it again?
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, the
We've
old
had those.
consistency.
We got to get them around here. Sometimes your best beer is one you didn't intend to make, and can you actually get it again?
Make it again.
Right? So you go see Craig, and you
swallowed the hook.
you
I was
enjoy
done. I
swallow
swallowed that sucker. Yep,
You
done.
set the hook, and you came back.
Came back and
You had a conversation with your wife before me because I don't know all the details.
Yes, we did have a good conversation. God bless her. She has a lot of faith in me. So walked in and wrote up a little piece of paper and handed it to my boss and said, I fucking quit, dude.
They like to call that a resignation.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you out there who,
For those
when
highly
someone,
intelligent people.
so I'm just going to throw this out there. For those of you out there who, when someone wants to throw an idea at you and you love it and you're going to go through with it, just a little bit of advice. Give the person who talked you into it a little heads up before you're going to quit.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, no. This guy, nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, that's weird. You forgot it?
Yeah, no.
You
You
just
sent me
walked
there.
into
What
a
did you want me
meeting.
to come home and be like, that was cool? No, yeah, we're game on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
no, he walked into a meeting and quit. I was like, oh, cool. What are you doing? I got a business venture. What is it?
I'm going to make beer. Oh, shit.
Oh, like we're doing that?
Yeah.
So
Hell
the
yeah, we are.
reality, he comes back and, has a talk with his wife, Christine, who's coming on in a couple episodes
Yep.
here. And
Gonna love her. Beautiful little Mexican lady.
and I'm going to leave that alone. And, yep,
You don't think
Spitfire.
she's pretty?
Yep, I'm afraid of both women that are going to come in here. We are both afraid of. In fact, everybody
100%.
around here, but in a good way. And so Frank comes back and he quits his job. And so what do I say back to you? Man, that's really cool, but I should keep mine.
Yeah. Like, why? No.
No.
I torch my boat, my bridge. I'm like,
Oh
we're
my
going.
God. Did this guy burn the bridges? Not only he didn't burn the bridges. He blew up the boats, burned the
Oh, yeah.
bridges, parachuted.
We're not
onto
going
the-
back. Like, this is it.
He's like, you're quitting too. And I said, you have 3 girls. I feel like I should keep my job because now this is the beautiful thing. you can talk all the shit you want in the world, but now somebody's called me on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
Yeah.
we're starting a brewery and we're starting it now.
Yeah, let's go.
This is awesome though. Let's quit our jobs when we have no money and no building.
But that's the mindset of people, you know?
It is.
Some want to feel weak and have these great ideas, or, you know what, fuck it, let's go. Life's short.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit on that rocking chair going, damn, I wish I should have done that. No, let's
Yep.
roll.
And you know, there's a couple things that are lost there that I don't. You know, we love the leadership portion of everything, and Frank goes there. And remember, this thing fails like in a number of ways that people always miss if people don't come through. So it fails and just becomes another idea if you don't follow through on going to Montana. It fails if you don't do a good job and impress Craig. It fails if you don't come back and follow through on what you're doing. It fails if we don't get Craig on board and get him excited in the next phase. Like, there's a lot of opportunity where you just have to push through. You don't see the dominoes in front of you.
No, not at all. And you got to remember, my whole life was Keystone and Coors Light. And we brought old Craigie up, and it was
No Red Dog with the caps.
Yeah,
like
oh
we-
yeah, hell yeah! Or a Lucky Lager, where was that the one with the puzzle in it? Yeah, no, great beers. And then Craig comes up and he's like, "Let's go to craft. Let's check out some of these breweries." And I'm like, "What? Oh shit, okay." And we drink, and he's like, "Tastes like horse blanket." What the fuck? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
whoa. Where
Tastes
you-
like this. Tastes like this. And I'm like, oh my God, Sensei, help me learn this. And
Yep.
then I'm like, okay. And I dove into a lot of local breweries, and we're very fortunate to have a big one here, and just trying to understand what's a lager, what's an ale, how's it supposed to taste. And the passion just grew. And now I'm like, okay, game on. But what do I need to make this happen? What building? And I remember Craig, what do you say? Where do you walk?
So Craig had become a consultant, and we get Craig down here. So the next phase is, hey, Craig, we're in Coonsey. Get down here. Take time away from your own brewery. Get your ass to Paso Robles and come down. And he always told me when he was a consultant, go down to the railroad track. So he comes. We still have jobs at this point. You're going to leave a little later, and I'm going to leave. And Craig goes to the railroad station, and he grabs a backpack full of beers.
And by the
that's-
way, I am zero productivity at work right now because all I care about is
drawing designs.
I'm just like we're
Drawing
in meetings.
designs.
I'm like handing Rich, like, look at this one. How about? Oh
this
yeah,
is-
no, what are we doing?
Oh,
Okay,
God.
cool.
So we're so Craig comes and he jumps on the railroad tracks and he just starts walking. And the reason is the coolest old buildings. Remember those history buffs, those people who love history. The railroad tracks dominated all of American culture, especially the Western expansion. So your oldest buildings in every town are always going to be found along those railroad tracks. And those are the coolest buildings to us because we love crafting things, taking something old, taking materials and making something new. And so Craig walks down there and he targeted a couple buildings. One is Hunter Auto Body right down the street. And I heard, I don't want to put a rumor out there. It's not a rumor. I got confirmation, but that thing got bought by somebody. We're going to have to interview that somebody who bought it, by the way. We're going to get him in here.
I don't even know
He
what
doesn't
you're
like the
talking about.
limelight. Frank doesn't
excited.
even know who I'm talking about. But the reality is he sees this place called Tozzi's Auto Body on Railroad Street off of the main park here in downtown Paso Robles. And he turns and he calls us and says, this is the building.
And I do a little research, and no plug, LoopNet, like, found it, and I'm like, it was on, but it was only on for like a week. But I'm not a dumb man, like I screenshot stuff, and then I got numbers.
I'm not a dumb man.
I'm not.
not.
No. I like running.
Again.
And called him and wouldn't answer. So every day at my lunch break, I would drive down here, and one day I caught Tozzi in the auto shop. And by now, his wife wasn't doing well, so it was kind of closed down. But he would come down. He had like 8 cars. He would just come in and fire them up to keep the batteries good.
Mhm.
And I remember walking in, talking to him, and he's a big man.
He'll blot out whatever it is, the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of talking to him, I had our local school district shirt on, and he kind of looked, and he used to be a wrestling coach, football coach, kind of
Track, throwers, all
everything.
sorts
Yeah,
of stuff.
definitely
Yep.
investing in the community
Once a
and the
Bearcat,
school.
always a Bearcat.
Yep.
That man, although he graduated from my high school, fun fact on the side, Enterprise High School, Redding, California.
Did he really?
He sure the hell did.
I did not
Isn't that
know
crazy?
that. Son of a
Christopher
bitch.
went up to Enterprise and took a picture and said, "This is where my dad came from," and I saw it,
He
and I
probably
said,
had trophies and all sorts of shit.
"Oh,
That
hell
dude's
yeah,
an athlete.
yeah." So, you get to meet him, and
I
what
did.
happens?
And he kind of told me to fuck off.
That sounds exactly right.
But
because
you know what? It's on a railroad track. It's a badass building. Guess who came back the next day?
The
And
scouting-
The next day.
the scouting report on Mike Tozy, by the way, is you either love him, which we do,
Yep.
or you hated him. There was no in between. So I'm going to let the people of Paso tell that story. I only know because they told me. We're on the love side, though. So
Yeah.
you meet him.
And so I come in and I'm like, hey, kind of. I heard it was up for sale. Blah blah blah. Oh, Frank. I don't know about that. And I'm like, well, confused, young man trying to figure out a commercial purchase. And
Yeah. Well, I can see why you're confused because there was a for sale sign out front with
no,
the number
it
on
was
it.
not out front. That was the
It
thing.
was there
it was,
for a while.
It was LoopNet for like a week, and then
Okay.
he pulled it.
All right. But at some point, there was a for sale sign with just a number on it, right? No? You don't
Maybe.
even think
I
that
don't- I
happened.
don't
Okay.
remember that.
All right. Keep going.
I don't
Ian.
remember that.
Frank is the
Like,
lead on this.
I'm all about
By the
being
way-
honest, so I could have went with that, but I'm gonna be honest.
No, I don't know.
remember that.
So, by the way, the timeline runs like this. I'm still working at the school district. Frank is crazy, and he quit already. Because I'm delaying a little bit because I think I need to keep cash just to
Yeah.
help his family when they run out of money. But
Yeah, well,
okay,
which coulda
go ahead.
happened. But
So
no,
you meet with
it's
him?
just basically short story because we're running 26 minutes.
No, keep
already.
going. People love it. Tell the story.
We just kind of hung out, and then we had a couple beers. Didn't realize this man was a musician. We come over and he freaking ripped his guitar out and played just amazing riffs. Played some local bars, hung out and saw him.
Harry's.
And then
Shout
yeah,
out Harry's Pismo
Harry's,
Beach.
there you go. And kind of Mike, man, I really want the place, but I don't know how to make it happen. And well, Frank, I can make it happen. And that's where he came in. He's all, I'll owner finance it for you. I love what you want to do with it. A lot of hotels wanted to buy this property and demolish it. And it's such a historical building that he was like, if you can kind of keep it this way, I'll make it happen for you. And we ended up drawing up a contract, freaking agreed on interest rates, all that. He did it for us. And the only caveat was you missed 2 payments, I get it all back.
Yeah. So the best part, it did take time though. How long were you committed? Because he didn't say yes initially. You had to meet with him how many times?
Oh, shoot. It was a lot.
I stopped. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This guy wants you to meet with him. He just wants you to hang out and listen to him play guitar. Nothing against him, but I gave up, and Frank kept going and kept meeting with him. And so it was
Oh.
a number of times that you
Well,
met
and
together.
I think he didn't quite understand what a brewery was. Like, he's
No.
old school. And what I kind of proposed, like, this would be badass here, here, here. And you trust me, there were people that are going to pay him cash. They were going to pay him cash to do a hotel.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to lose the ambiance, what he had. And I'm like, let's keep it.
Absolutely. And what you remember what I believe, he never confirmed, but what I believe, and Christopher, who comes in, his son, Christopher Tozy, he might agree. We'll have to check with him and get him on here to talk about it. But I believe the thing that kind of threw him over was already the work that you had all done, but the fact that we wanted to keep his signs
Oh, yeah.
and keep the buildings in the the aura of what it is already, in that same footprint, the same beauty, the same everything, and then keep this Tozy sign to keep it running. I think he was excited about that, the opportunity to have a building that he had owned forever and have the name move on or at least the legacy and the memory of everything that had happened there. And
Well,
so
and
that was a big deal.
how beautiful for us that every Bearcat wrestler, football player, track person, they worked out.
This was the weight room.
This was the weight room. Like,
Oh yeah.
we serve beer now, and people are like, "Oh, I remember lifting weights over here and doing this."
Yep.
And, oh, I saw Tozy like push a car up this hill.
Oh,
while
yeah.
running. Or the man was physically like Hulk Hogan.
He's a beast. And the Monteros came and worked out here, and we'll have to get them on talking about, we need weight room shirts, but there was, throwers in here. There were people everywhere in this
Everything.
town.
And all of them went to Paso and like took state and did all that because of that man and his training.
And the best part is he taught us a couple things about business. You're right. His quotes were funny because he was a professional surfer at one point.
Yep.
We confirmed that. You thought he was lying. Like, the man could pick up a bus. VW.
He would tell me stories every fucking day, and I'm like, "You're so full of shit." And I'd drive away and talk some. Oh no, I saw it happen. No,
Yeah.
that happened. I'm like,
People would
What the-
confirm. They would confirm the crazy
guy
ass story.
is
He was a pro
crazy.
wrestler. He was like a lead guitarist, a master mechanic. It was like all these crazy things.
in
And we
Chilton,
didn't believe him.
He kept Chilton in business because he had every Chilton mechanic book there was. I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
whoa.
So Frankie gets the deal. He comes through. His persistence matters. Mind you, we still have no money, but we're pretty sure we have a building. So we agree upon a number,
Building railroad tracks, passion for brewery,
historical building
Let's
that
make
people
this happen.
recognize. Let's move forward. And so we're checking off boxes. Any endeavor or any project or anything that you want to do, you got to position yourself to acquire the things you need. Shoot.
or take a risk.
Or take a risk. And so here we are. We agree upon a number, and he's going to teach us another thing about life. He self-finances the business, like you said. So we go there. It's him and his lawyer, and he's going to carry the note. For those of you who don't know about that, that's a beautiful thing. He's going to be the bank, and he's going to get the interest from the loan and everything else. So we meet. We know nothing about this, by the way. We show up, and the best part is we go to sign the paperwork, and we look through the papers, and what do we notice?
I'm like, I feel like the number's off a little bit.
He added $100,000 to it without telling anyone. By the way, we're so deep in this thing. Like, we're just balls deep in this.
Fucking gangster.
We're just so deep in this. No one can say no because we don't have the money to like worry about it. We're just we're throwing together a down payment right now. We still don't have any cash to build a
Nothing.
brewery.
Nothing.
We have dug up and scratched from our penny jar the down payment for this, and he changes the number to 100 more thousand, which is well played.
Yeah. Adieu, my good sir.
Well played. Sir.
Well
Well
played.
played.
And
So we
guess
signed the
what we
paperwork.
did? We signed that paperwork.
But the best part is he stops us and he says, "Listen to me." And the way he talked, he had this cadence about his voice.
But he
Giant
towered
human
over
being.
you.
Yeah,
You're like,
giant human being.
you guys ever seen
Well-
what was that big wrestler?
Andre the Giant. Oh,
that
yeah.
was him.
He was huge.
Just
And he had
hands
said-
the size of a grizzly bear, and he would just
Well,
look down on you.
He
Well,
says,
Frank,
"Well, Frank and Rich, I just want to be clear." His lawyer's sitting there. It says in this contract, if you miss 2 payments, I own that building. And I want you to know that I will sell everything out from under you, and I will sell that building. But, because at that point we were like, oh God, like, please, sir, just, you already
we'll
crushed
post some
me.
photos of the building we bought.
You already crushed me for $100,000. By the way, I don't even know how to read your contract. It's so extensive. Now, luckily, now we have some more experience. At this point, I'll just sign it. And then at this point, he's told me he's going to take the building back of all the money that we're going to put into it. But he leaves, there is a but. And he says, but if you make all the payments and you follow through with that contract, you're going to own a piece of downtown Paso Robles, and people are going to wonder how the hell you got it.
And they do every day.
They still do. He was
They
right.
still
So thank you, Mike Tozy, for that. And now we have a building. We've signed
do.
it. We got the keys. They dropped the keys.
Yep.
It's an old auto shop. It passes all the phase inspections and everything else. And all these things, and here you go. Guess what? We still have no money to
But
build
we have
the
a
damn
lot
thing.
of grit, and we went after it.
Right. And we have people pints possibilities. So we're at the people stage. So we need more people. And so at this point, Frank is starting to work on the licensing and everything else.
And that's a whole
And-
story right there. Like, brewery, now you're looking at fed, state. Like, you just don't get to start selling liquor. Like, I didn't know about that. And all of a sudden, there's ADA, there's this. We had a building, and on no joke, they pulled the drywall off, and the studs running the support to the building were 48 inches on center. Do you remember Luis coming in? They rebuilt the entire side, and that's when they had lunch inside. And you and I were like, "Why don't you guys eat in here?" We thought the building was gonna fall over.
They did. The building is so old they couldn't really tell. That some people think the Army Corps of Engineers built it, with extra materials. Nobody's really sure.
Yeah, recycled or yeah.
And
Crazy.
so it made it through an earthquake. It made it through all these things. But here we're going to try to build it into a brewery. And the people who came to fix it up don't even think it's going to stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, we were very fortunate.
Everyone said, "Are you going to rip that thing down?
No.
It's a piece of shit." And we're like, "Absolutely not. This is a beautiful diamond in the rough." And so we're going to keep it. And it's still here, all the tin. But we did take it down to the studs. And so Frank gets the licensing. You got to deal with architects. You got to
that's
deal
a
with
whole nother
zoning.
podcast. These
you know.
guys.
But essentially, the bottom line is we work our way through that, which everybody has to, and it takes time. And at this point, this is the important part. You need more people. This is a people episode. We realized we wrote up this fancy business plan. Craig gave us a business plan, and we copied it. And not only did that, we had great numbers. We had everything. This thing was to the nines. 150-page business plan, 100-page business plan. I don't remember.
Oh no!
Beer
Beautiful
numbers.
performance. Like these are the predictions. We're gonna nail
Actual
this.
numbers.
Nail this. Like get 'em in.
Pictures. Quotes for all the equipment.
Did we hit any of that?
We did. Our numbers were good.
Bullshit! COVID hit. Remember?
Oh no, well, there is that.
There it.
The vid-19, the 19. Dude, got us. That's a whole nother story.
We were on track, 100%.
We were on track, but you're right. So we take this
But
business plan.
resilience, and we ran it.
We take this business plan that we have. It's beautiful. Like, it's got a cover page and everything.
Dude,
Like,
it's glossy.
it's sick. I put it in folders. Like, we're educators. Like, this is
100%.
the book report that you did, that you were so fucking proud that you did a dance, like, up to the teacher's desk.
Yep.
Like, you were spinning with your friends.
Here you go.
Boom. Right on the banker's desk. And what did they say?
You're fucking out of your mind.
Get the fuck out of my
Wait,
office.
You haven't been in business for 2 years.
Tell me
well,
about
no, we're trying to start a business.
How
No,
about this?
you haven't been in business
This
for
is
2 years.
this is when you want to borrow money. Have you been in business already? No. How could I start a business if I haven't been in business already? 2 years. No. Do you have any experience in the business? No, this is my first time working in it.
Business startup loan.
It's
Wait, but I have
called
to, what?
It's in the name. A business startup loan. No, but you got to be in business. You got to have done the business before. So we were educators, and they say if Craig is on there,
Oh, yeah.
they would take us. They
Right.
would give us a loan, right?
And we love him too much. We're not going to throw that on him.
Well, he had just like opened himself up and extended things. He was building his brewery and doing a lot of things, and there's no way we're gonna ask him to do that. So, bottom line is, we have no money. We went to every bank. We're this guy's resilient. He's not stopping. He's
Wait,
just-
whoa, we had money, but we didn't realize we didn't have enough money.
yeah. So make a budget
And then triple it.
Triple it. So
And people would tell me that. I'm like, F you. No.
double
And
it, quadruple it, and the time.
It's true.
So
Whoever
here's where we
starts
got
a
money.
business and does that.
We
I'm
need money.
impressed.
So we look around, and what do we do first? We refinance our houses.
Yep. Sure did.
You're like, man, let's spruce this thing up. Let's find a way to squeeze some juice out of
Yeah.
this.
Oh, but what about the retirements?
Yeah, no, retirements, cash those out. You don't need that. Who needs that shit? We came from an industry where they're like, if you just work 9 more years, I
Yes.
swear to God, you're gonna get 80% of your best 2 years, and you're gonna love it. And what did we do with that money? We took a 20% penalty and cashed it all out and emptied that shit. like
And
it
paid
was
taxes on it.
like it was the Lake Nacimiento and who the hell drinks that water? Who's all the fancy people north of us? They needed more water. Shit, it was, Monterey needs water. It's Lake Nassau and Monterey needs water. It's our IRA, and she's dry.
Yeah,
The Mississippi
we
River,
sucked
she's a
all of
running
it.
dry.
God
So we
bless
took
you,
all
honey.
that money out. Guess what? Still not enough money
That's true.
because shit is expensive. So we need more money, and we find some local people. You're gonna meet Jeff Gallagher. Enter Jeff Gallagher,
Legend.
legend, the
Legend,
Galley Cat.
Galley Cat.
Come on now, big
Come
cat.
on.
The big cat. The big cat comes in and he sees our project, and we're short. Jeff, we're a little short. And Jeff says, "I don't have."
By short, we mean like a couple $100,000.
We're also 5'8". We're 5'8", so we're like short in like multiple areas right now. So Jeff comes in and we say, "Can you help us?" And he goes, "I don't have cash," but he, in turn, believes in our project, the possibilities piece, big ass dreams, and says this is really cool. Doesn't ask us for a thing, and proceeds to do, I don't know, $80,000 to $100,000 in free work. And
Not free work. I'm sure that was written off somewhere. So I don't
he's a smart
let's
businessman.
not- yeah.
Well, no, it didn't cost us $1.
Oh,
That's all I'm
yes,
saying.
we didn't
Somewhere,
pay a
somebody
lot.
paid for that.
We did a lot
you
of
know.
love.
And so Jeff comes in and he offsets some of those costs, but we're still not there, right? So I need to go hit up my friends from when we were kids. And so we privately funded through Tessa and Thanasi, Randopoulos, people I grew up with who had seen Craig do breweries. They brought in Jason Kimball. These are all business owners, great people. The Kimballs came in, and these are private people that I had to go through. Jeff brings in Brad Jellison, Mike and Celia Moses. Great people, but these people, I want to tell you about this in a moment. Like, this is my job.
Throw my dad in
Your
there.
dad, yeah. My
And I just want to
grandmother
make it
helps
clear,
me.
like I hit up my friends.
They didn't have any fucking money.
Pick your friends wisely.
Jesus, you're gonna need big
They
digits.
actually asked me.
You're
for
gonna
money.
need
I'm
big
like,
digits in
"Fuck."
your
So
friends.
this guy's doing way better on the friend circuit than I am.
Well, I'm the people guy. I'm the people guy. He's the pints guy. I'm gonna need him in a little bit to make beer. Like, we haven't even got to that. So I go around, and here's what I want to say. It is a crazy concept when you go to your friends and ask them for X amount of dollars, which is a large amount, $50, $60, $70, $100,000 of their own hard-earned money. And you and I and Martha and Christine had to guarantee that we would give it back to them because that's their life savings, and that is the big ass dreams, the possibilities. And what did they do? They fucking wrote us checks
They sure did.
on a piece of paper that I
They freaking
printed
sure
from
did.
what was that thing you used to pay for? That now we have AI, but you went on
LegalZoom.
LegalZoom.
Hey, shout out to LegalZoom. Can you stop charging me?
Dude,
I feel like I pulled
LegalZoom.
that
We
off.
don't have an account with you anymore.
I don't.
Like,
You're still charging
it's
me.
28 years ago. Like, I don't even know. Dude, so we go on, we sign the contracts, and these people write you a check and they hand you their life savings, and we put it in the account, and off we go. We got the money, we got the building, and now the building's
And the
not ready.
equipment.
It's not a brewery. The building is a old washed up, metal shop that
Still
where
sexy.
They used to do Smog. Oh, but she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yeah. She's
She
gonna
just-
show a little leg come spring.
Oh, we're gonna give her a little. She's gonna start working out again. She's gonna start
Yes.
eating right. She's gonna start looking good,
got her.
right?
We got her.
And
Or
so,
him, whatever you're into, I don't care.
so here we go. We took a risk. We found the right people to help us, and this is a people episode. And leading into the next episode, the pints, that is crafting things. That is making things. So we're gonna take and talk about this old building. It's broke down that Frank and I put our hands on, and Frank found a bunch of people, and we got in there, and his daughters even helped come
Oh,
tear
yeah.
some stuff apart, and we got to work, and ended up with what we have now. But it was a labor of love, that's for sure. That's the next episode.
Yeah, that construction piece. I hope you listen to. It's pretty fun to hear how if you go out of your comfort zone a little bit, you might be able to find some amazing people. Velasquez, just to give you a heads up, that
We got to get him in.
yeah, that can take you to the next level.
No mas
And
ideas.
no mas ideas.
No mas ideas, Richard. No mas ideas. We even
So-
named a beer after him.
We
We
did.
also got the brushes. We're gonna get some brushes
Yeah,
in here. They helped
absolutely.
us out, after we got it rolling, and plenty of people. So we're gonna get on to those people, and then after that, we're gonna follow it up with that possibilities, which is that belief. We need people that are gonna come in, like Jake, who's behind the scenes right here,
Yeah.
helping us put this podcast together, and he's gonna come out, at some point. But we need people who believe in the dream that we believe in. The people Pines
100%.
Possibilities, who believe in bringing people together and leaving them better. And then they're going to put their spin on it and make it even that much better and into something we didn't even see coming.
Well, and it takes it to the next level as shit. We can't do all this on our own.
Hell
How do
no.
we build a team?
No one does it alone.
And you guys want to know how to build a team? Get through the next 4 and you're hooked.
All right. Well, this was a good episode. We got to where we wanted to go. Reminder, people, Pints Possibilities it is building teams, people, crafting things with the pints, making things, and we're gonna have plates a little bit later with the food. And then the possibilities is just big ass dreams. People who have the mindset of greatness and they're willing to do the things that it takes. So
Yeah. Appreciate you. Cheers.
all right, cheers everybody.